Okay, welcome back to video 2. Today we have a 2,500 point game between Vampire Counts and Lizardmen using Meat Engagement, so where you deploy diagonally 9 inches apart. Let's take a look at the terrain we used today. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a Blessed Bulwark and a forest on the top. There's a fence just in front of where that unit of skeleton warriors. There's a Tower of Blood and the Idol of Gork in the middle, and then just a normal building off to the side. So, starting on the left hand side, Lizardmen Army contains a 10-man unit of skinks with blowpipes, 2-man hunting pack of salamanders, a large block of Saurus warriors with a skink priest with Lord Undeath behind it, some temple guard with Lord Kroak and Old Blood and a Scarvet, some more Saurus with another skink priest behind them, also running Lord Undeath, and then another 10-man salamanders. They also have another salamander pack. Sorry, there's skinks there. They have a salamander pack that's awaiting to come on. Our Vampire Counts army today contains 2 50-man units of skeletons, 2 5-man dogs, a 10-man unit of Black Knights with full command, a Terrorgeist hiding behind the Tower of Blood in the center, and then 2 normal vampires on foot, one with a Dispel Scroll in the skeleton unit, a Master Necromancer in the skeleton unit, a Vampire Lord, and a Vampire VSB in the Black Knights. All the wizards, except for the Vampire VSB, have Lord Vampires. The Vampire VSB has Lord Undeath today. All are level 2, except the Master Necromancer, who is level 4. Just as we start, the Chameleon Skinks deploy behind my Vampire Count line, so they can try and snipe the Terrorgeist out with their poison shot. And my 2 units of dogs sneak up like this using their Vanguard moves. So first one like that, and here's the second Vanguard move. Lizardmen 1-year-old to go first, so their first turn of movement is very little. They're just going to cast behind that fence. So as you can see, the Skinks just moved up to take the building, Salamanders moved up to support them, Chameleon Skinks moved up to shoot the Terrorgeist as close as they can, and the Salamanders that didn't come on walked on like so. The skinks moved up right in front of my dogs, as you can see there. Not a whole lot of magic wasn't wholly effective this round, with the Lizardmen player only getting off 1 spell, being raised to some of those 10 skeleton warriors you see there in the middle. I don't know how I feel about Lord Undeath on low level casters. It doesn't seem to work as well as it does on some of your higher ones like your Mortox and Negation nowadays. Lizardmen shooting was slightly more effective, with the Salamanders killing 2 dogs and the Skinks killing 1 down in this bottom corner. And then over the other side, the Skinks killing another 2 dogs and the Salamanders flaming a whole bunch of the skeletons. I believe they killed 28 in a single round of shooting. It is horrifying what those things can do when they roll the right distance for their flame shot. And as you can see down the bottom, the Chameleon Skinks put a single wound on the Terrorgeist, which isn't too bad to start with. Okay, so on the Vampire Counts 2, the bottom unit of the dogs charges the skinks and gets shot to death through Overwatch, and the skeleton unit comes up, the spare skeleton unit comes on down the bottom. The second unit of dogs here, as you can see, charge and make it into the other skink unit. I'm feeling pretty good about that charge. I'm strength 4, I should be able to kill a few, make them run, or at least hold on, and that skeleton unit that got flamed earlier has moved up behind the fence to try and go fight the salamanders eventually. Now my magic phase wasn't much better, only getting the 1 spell off, which is Wind of Death, which as you can see shot through and planted itself in that forest there. And a few other wizards trying to cast, but a combination of failing and being dispelled means I got no other spells off, unfortunately, this turn, which is annoying because I had a lot more power dice than he did, due to me being able to channel a whole bunch of dice because of the amount of wizards I have on the table today. In my shooting phase, no surprise, Terrorgeist jumps backwards and screams the Chameleon Skinks to death. I'd rather kill them now so they don't harass my backlines for the rest of the game and keep putting poisoned wounds on my monsters, or even just units in general. Now, I remember saying I was feeling good about this combat. I take that back. As you can see, my dogs no longer are there. The skinks killed them all. What is worse is that the skinks failed their fear test as I charged in, so they were weapon skill 1, and they still managed to kill the dogs before the dogs got to strike. So they just got a nice gentle reform, and that was that. really? Skinks beat direwolves. Scared skinks beat direwolves. It was not looking good at that point. Lizardmen have a very uneventful turn too. The only real movement they have is the bottom unit of salamanders move up and the skinks move closer to that forest there. That's about it. They attempt to cast rides with both their skinks, but one fails and the other one is dispelled. Yeah. The salamanders flame the skeletons, killing 4 off the bottom unit and 12 off the top. All in all, a very quiet turn. They're sort of just preparing and waiting for the vampire counts to come march into their jaws. Yeah. So vampire counts 2. Bottom unit skeletons elect to charge the skinks in the building, and the top one go to charge the salamanders right above them. And as you can see, bottom skeletons make it in, top skeletons do not, they just bumble forward. Black Knights stay back, waiting for something, I'm not sure, I think I've moved them forward a little bit, not enough, I probably should be trying to advance on them. And Terrorgeist moves up there next to the Skeleton Warriors. I have a slightly more eventful magic phase this time, with casting Van Hells on the Terrorgeist to move it up to where you can see it there. And just use sort of the rest of my remaining dice to raise some skeletons back. My plan is now just to screen the salamanders there with my Terrorgeist, which I do and kill them. Yay! That's one salamander hunting back down. I really dislike those things. They're horrifying to deal with and they murder infantry like skeletons. And this bottom combat here could not have gone better. So the skeletons charge in, they manage to, yeah, they must not be the vampire. Skeletons charge in anyway, kill 3 of the skinks, skinks kill a couple back, I manage to win and the skinks run. Now the skinks only run 2 inches as you can see there, but this forces the salamanders to take a panic test, which in turn they fail and causes them to run off the board. That's the second hunting pack gone. Oh yay. I'm at this point very excited. I've got both hunting packs. Skinks are running away and I'm looking like I'm in a very happy position at the moment. I still got that massive Saurus box to deal with, but I've got my knights. They should be easy to do. So for turn 3, the only movement Lizardmen do is their skink priest moves up and the skink unit just on the other side of the building their rallies. For magic, Lord Kroak tries to cast Deliverance through the moved up skink, which fails, and the other skink priest tries to raise some more skeleton warriors, but that is dispelled. Shooting wise, the skinks do an amazing job and shoot off 4 wounds of my Terrorgeist. They actually caused 6 wounds, but I managed to save 2 luckily. Did 4 wounds. That Terrorgeist is now sitting down on 2 wounds and not looking good. So yeah, that's the skinks, not skinks, Lizardmen's third turn. They're just sort of waiting for the counter charge now, as that's all they can really do. So my 9 boss selects the charge of skinks in turn 3. It flees, doesn't quite make it to the table, so they make it redirect into the Saurus Warriors. The Terrorgeist, as you can see there, moves up to fight this skeletons, not skinks, they're skeletons. And that's about all my movement. So here's a quick photo of the knights in the Saurus and one of the Terrorgeist up against the skeleton. So magic, my Lord miscasts casting Hellish Vigor and loses both his levels, I believe, and only again it cuts off. In shooting, the Terrorgeist screams at the Skeleton Warriors and kills 9. Not 10, 9. So as you can see, there's that one left alive there. And yay, that's going to be annoying. Let's go to combat. So in combat, the vampire kills 5 or so Saurus Warriors. Saurus kill back 2 of my Black Knights. So I'm in combat, but this has been hold. Yeah. I was kind of hoping to break them so I could overrun and get out of the line of sight of the Temple Guard, but it looks like I am now going to copy a Temple Guard charge in the flank. This is going to hurt. Okay, so Lizardmen turn 4, Temple Guard charge the flank of my Black Knights. No surprise there. And I believe that's all the movie does. The skinks move up, as you can see there, so they're in front of the Terrorghost. They're going to shoot him. Magic goes off, Kroak starts spamming his bubble spell to kill undead. The first one I dispel scroll, the second one gets, there is a miscast, kills a couple of Black Knights and 10 of my Skeleton Warriors. We move on to combat and we finish up like this. So he sits there and murders a whole bunch of my Black Knights, puts a wound on one of my characters, and my characters turn around and kill a whole bunch of his Saurus, but the Saurus hold and the Temple Guard are unbreakable, so we just sit around and combat like so. Yeah, that could have gone worse. And shooting the skinks, shoot my Terrorghost and kill the last 2 wounds. That's annoying because that would have been useful later on. So my turn 4, I move my Skeleton Warriors up like that. That's all real movement I've got left to do. Magic, the only spell I end up getting off is Van Hell's on the skeletons there. I think I used it to move up a little bit closer, just to try and draw those Saurus Wars out, try and get some points through them. Combat, I'll do something I probably should have done last time and challenge with my Vampire Lord. Now he's all but success, so now that Temple Guard unit is just sitting there and can't attack through him because the challenge blocks them. The challenge sort of sits there and does nothing, like both of us have a 1-up save, his is re-rollable, we both got a 4-up ward, so yeah, no wins are done there. The Hero Vampire, my BSB, he's actually got 9 attacks at the moment because of the amount of characters in the Temple Guard unit and unit champs and so on. He sits there and murders the last of those Saurus Warriors, as he should have by now. I mean, 9 attacks with Red Fury. Probably should have been done a while ago. I actually am a big fan of the sort of anti-heroes. And combat finishes looking like this. So I win, Temple Guard unbreakable, so I just reform to face him, so I can throw that murderous vampire into the Temple Guard. So in the movement phase, the Saurus finally charge the Skeleton Warriors that are there. I'm feeling pretty confident about that. I mean, I've got a vampire in there. I've got more than he does. I've got Van Hell, so everybody else to hit off in combat. I should be okay. In the combat with the Temple Guard, I'm a little nervous about being down to essentially 2 heroes and a unit champ, but we'll see how that goes later on. I am very killy with my characters though, so we'll see. So this is what it looks like at the end of the Lizardmen's magic phase. As you can see, my last Black Knight has died, and that skeleton unit down the bottom is looking very, very depleted. So what happened in this magic phase is he got a whole bunch of dice, and essentially sat there and constantly spammed Kroak's spell, just over and over and over again. So eventually, yeah, that Black Knight found its save. My Lord took a wound, and a whole bunch of skeletons died essentially due to that. That spell is very annoying, just because it's cast fairly long, it ruins undead, and you can keep casting it again and again and again and again. Ouch. So this is what it looks like at the end of combat. My Vampire Lord takes a wound off his old blood, he gives me a wound back. My Vampire Hero, the BSB, killed 5 odd Saurus and then died due to crumbles. No, the Temple Guard killed him, and that was another wound of the vampire. And the vampire managed to survive crumble. With the skeletons versus the Saurus, the vampire kills a whole bunch of them, they kill a couple of me, and they stick. Oh no, sorry, we drew in that one. I managed to do equal number of wounds to him, as he had static combat rates, so yeah, that was a draw. So, we'll see how that goes. I've still got a whole bunch of characters left. I should be able to magic back some wounds, and then be able to push that combat into a more advantageous position for me. So this is the end of my magic phase. I got very few dice. I think I got like 4 dice, mainly because they're all double ones and managed to actually channel some. So all I really get off is Van Hells on the skeletons. I don't think I even put a wound. No, I think I put a wound back on my Vampire Lord. Yeah, so very little magic I got. That's not what I needed. I probably needed a much bigger magic phase than that. Alright, so this is the end of my combat round. As you can see, my Vampire Lord has died now. He managed to get another wound off on the Old Blood, but wasn't enough, so the static combat res caused him to crumble to death. The combat with the skeleton, the Saurus Warriors and the skeletons, I do a whole bunch of wounds to him. He does 2 wounds to my Necromancer, so that's down to a single wound left, and I'm down to just a rank of skeletons. And we draw combat again, so that's not fun. This isn't looking good now. I think I've just about lost now, but I keep going anyway because I think I can pull it back at the. So for my opponent's turn 6, he doesn't move anything. He casts Kroak's bubble spell again, killing off the last of the bottom skeletons. You can see it down there. In combat, he finishes off my Necromancer. My skeletons kill a bunch of him. So do my vampires. Well, skeletons kill like 1, vampire kills a whole bunch. I managed to win combat this time. He sticks, I reform, as you can see here. Just to try and get a few more extra attacks in, instead of being that wide frontage, and maybe have a rank 2. But we'll see how that goes. So my turn 6, I managed to raise a bunch of skeletons, as you can see there, back up. When we do the combat, we fight. I kill most of his Saurus Warriors, which causes them to run, and they end up an inch away, so I don't catch them, and that's where the game ends. So as you can see, skeletons took a beating today. Yep. Castle Lizardmen are hard, especially castles behind a wall. I made a few mistakes, like not pushing up fast enough, like spending too much time with the skeleton warriors chasing the salamanders, but that's what you get. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.